Hi guys, welcome to another episode of TNT. Today we are discussing, have we normalized suffering in silence? So, Tabi, today we are discussing something interesting. Have we normalized suffering in silence? For your experience, have you seen that most of us don't talk about our pain, our issues, because now we feel like, if we talk about it, if I share my issues with Tabi, will she listen? Or will she judge? Or will she, help me? Those are the things that go through our minds. So do you think that we have been in a space whereby we have normalized suffering in silence?
Yeah, exactly, Tracy. I feel like that's true. I feel like most people have really, not everyone, because some people have really a safe space where they can vent, but I feel like many people have normalized suffering in silence, and because sometimes you look at your circle and you're like, nobody will understand me in this case, and maybe I'll be judged and all that stuff. So you're like, let me handle this, or maybe sometimes you just tell yourself, I can handle this. I can handle it. I can handle it, as much as it's heavy and all that stuff. Yeah, I feel like we have normalized suffering in silence, and I feel mostly it's men. For ladies, somehow we find ways to vent our issues. We find ways to deal with our issues, outwardly. But for men, theirs is kind of extreme, because even when you look at mental issues, it's mostly men who are suffering from this. Like the percentage is higher on the men's side than on the women's side. And also, I think something that I'll just say is that even for a man, mostly people don't expect them to be emotional. Emotional, no. As much as, even I think right now in the society, men are being encouraged, and they are being told, okay, you can say how you feel, you can express yourself, you can do that. But also, I think, Tracy, that for a man, it's very important. For a man, just especially when it's maybe you are outside where like people don't know you, or maybe you are in the workplace and all that stuff. I feel that it's just important for a man. Stand on principle, stand on logic, and stand on what makes sense. Because the truth be told, that men, when you start showing your emotions, when you let your emotions lead you, you will be judged. People will think that you are unstable. So I'll encourage them to find a safe space. You can have maybe friends, a circle that you can talk to. You can vent to your mom. If you have a partner, you can talk to them maybe concerning something that happened at work, like a place you can express yourself. But don't go out there in public and you are emotional and all that stuff. But for it's even if you're saying that women are allowed, but also I think it's also very important not to be too over emotional, especially in the workplaces or in a place where you feel like people can judge you, because people will judge you. Tracy, people will judge you. The truth will judge you. So it's always very important to not suffer in silence, but if you can find a counselor, it's okay. But don't vent or don't express yourself so much in an environment that is not conducive.
Yeah, that's true. I tend to think at this level whereby we are in a society right now, it's more open. Because we are encouraged to speak out. If you're going through something, you're encouraged to speak out and, tell us, find someone, call this number. There are so many helplines right now offering just to hear you, to know what you're going through. And you see, let's just be honest, in the African culture, we are not that, how can I say, we're not that open. So you're used to if I have issues, if we are going through issues with my partner, I'd rather not speak about it to somebody else. That somebody else maybe will judge us. Or that somebody else will be like, you know, you are going through this, oh, this person is not good. And yet it's an issue whereby it can be resolved or solved at that moment. You just need somebody to hear you. And sometimes, you know, with the cases that we are hearing these days of killing one another and having suicides and all that, you're like,
because of lack of safe spaces to express.
Exactly. And that you're thinking, why would I, you know, not be able to speak to this partner? Why will I not be able to tell this person that I feel what we are going through right now is something that we need a space, just a bit of space for us to understand one another. It doesn't mean that I don't love you anymore. It's just that I feel what you're going through, the issues, maybe. I just need a little bit of space. And if you feel, you know, we always feel that we are okay keeping our issues to ourselves, and that's not right. That is not right. The fact that if I'm going through, let's just say, for example, you know, God forbid, that I'm with my partner and that partner just abused me, we'll take that abuse, me personally, I'll take that abuse, and I have to report to work. And you see, with that report to work, there's also pressure for work.
From work, yes, true.
And you're like, you want to explode, but at work you also have to keep that, oh, you know,
so
I'm okay.
You just shut down sometimes.
You shut down, and then when some, you know, and for us, we can, you know, we are very quick to react. So you're like, you have pressure at work, pressure at, you know, pressure at home. You're like, where will they vent out? Sometimes when you're reaching out to your friends are not there for you. So you're like, okay, where can I vent out? I'm feeling this pain, I'm feeling this suffering, I'm feeling like, okay, I want to explode, but there's no one to explode to. And I think that's one of those issues whereby if you feel that, you know, you can't talk to your friend, you can't talk to your family members. Just sometimes you're like, this issue, if I talk to my family members, they will take sides. And sometimes they will not even see the issue as it is. They will see, oh, this person, not actually the issue itself. So they're not resolving the issue, they're resolving the person. Like, tena na huyo mtu, si lazima ukwe na huyo mtu, you know, those things. Yet it's an issue whereby if we sit down, we talk about it, when you look at that issue, it's something that it has a solution. And I feel that we shouldn't condemn somebody or be in a position whereby if I come and share with you that I'm going through this, that I'm feeling this or I'm feeling this pain, that Tabi is not quick to speak about it, or Tabi, you're not quick to say, you know, this is the advice I'm giving you. You are able to internalize, okay, what is Tracy actually saying? You know, sometimes, and that's why they say it's good to go to a counselor, it's good to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Those people are able to be like, so they go through like what exactly is the issue, not the you know,
they look at the root
of the issue, not at imeanza hapa. You're like, okay, where exactly did it start? Did it start with you as a child? Did it start with you as a partner? Did it start with you as a family member? You know, they're like, when exactly did this issue start? And we have that. Right now, I feel that we have that leeway or openness. We are open. Excuse me. We are open as a society whereby we are able to speak about our issues. And we have avenues. Actually, nowadays we have avenues to speak about your issues. Maybe you don't trust your friends. Maybe you feel if you talk to your friends, they will judge you, or they will stop being your friends. You know, sometimes you're like,
hey man, you're not gonna have shida, man. Man.
So like, there's no need for me to talk
so
to
they
my
start
friends.
avoiding you. So you're like, okay, if you want, maybe, exactly. What you're saying is really right. And maybe let's just talk about the underlying issues. People have been betrayed, Tracy. You know, people have told their friends issues, and you know, the next thing you hear it in the street and all that stuff. So people are like, okay, if I'm going through this, I don't want to tell someone, and then the next thing I hear it's somewhere else. You know, or you don't just trust people. You don't just trust people. Like nobody hurt you or anything, but you're just like, I don't. No, I can't say it. You know, so you end up carrying burdens, you end up carrying things in you, and they're weighing you down. And you see, Tracy, if you have issues and as serious as that, you know, maybe whichever home issues, relationship issues, whichever issues that are weighing you down, even your productivity goes down.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so it's always very important, Tracy, that we normalize sharing our problems. And just the way you said, if you cannot talk it out with your family or whoever, then find a safe space where you can talk out these issues. You can find a counselor. You can, because okay, right now I think the society right now it's kind of open and it's easier to find a counselor. It's easier to don't carry out things, because at the end of the day, whatever you are carrying, the burden you are carrying must find an outlet in one way or the other.
Yes.
It has to find an outlet,
Yes.
you know, and sometimes you never know where the outlet will be. It might just be with your boss, Tracy. One day you wake up and you are beating your boss so bad.
You're like,
and then later you're like,
what did I do?
what did I do? That's not me. And you see, sometimes also, maybe you are with your friends, and maybe someone just made a joke, Trace. It was a joke.
It was a joke.
And you took it so seriously, you got so mad because your emotions are just floating. You are carrying so much in you, you know, that you don't really understand what's going on, you know. And sometimes even in the house, you're a parent, you're a mother, and you're always mad at the children, you're mad at the child, you're mad at everything, you know, because you're carrying so much. And you see, I think this thing it's mostly in Africa. And in Africa, really, people really don't believe in seeking counsel.
Yes.
We don't believe in
Yes.
seeking counsel. We
Yes.
believe in being strong. You know, just be strong. Like,
Don't tell people your
don't
issues.
tell people your issues.
Why
Like,
telling other people your issues?
why telling
You can
people your
solve
issues?
them.
You can solve them. You understand?
Yeah.
And you see, people are walking outside here with so much
Yeah.
that if they found a safe space and they share their problems, maybe they'll be better. People are sick with depression, Tracy.
Yeah.
People are sick with so many, you know, so many sicknesses that can easily be treated by just being light.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, what I will encourage people, just find a safe space. Don't suffer in silence. If you have a group, if you have a friend, identify one person, talk to them. It doesn't matter whether, of course, you can't control whether they're going to tell it out or not, but at least you have that one friend you can trust. And, you know, even if it's not your friend, if you have a mom, talk to your mama, you know, talk to them. If you have a dad, but just don't keep things inside. If someone hurt you, let them know, man, today, you know, like, and for me, I think, Tracy, my heart mostly goes out to men, you know.
Yeah.
Men, unless they're maybe in a bar or something. And if you don't drink, I don't even know where you went. You know, they'll be like, you know, like...
Come on, they watch football matches.
Football, like, you can't be venting in a football, like when you're watching football.
Like,
people,
these breaks.
Even in the breaks, like, people are discussing football and you're coming here with the issues, man, stop it. You know, you're disrupting my mind. I want to concentrate.
Okay.
You get it? So, but still, I'll encourage them, you know, find a place where you can talk. You know, people are drinking out here. Like, someone thinks, okay, if I drink, you know, a lot of it, I'll forget. But you see, it's just temporary solution.
That's
you wake up
true.
the next morning, your problems are still there. You haven't solved anything. And then you were talking about, you know, just not focusing on the underlying issues. Sometimes, you know, when it comes to focusing on underlying issues, then there you need counseling. You need a professional.
Yes.
Surely, Tracy, you can't come to me. You're telling me maybe a problem that you are having, and I have to like go deep in. I wouldn't even think about that. I just give you, you know, something that can help you, like, you know, just to help you a bit, or maybe just listen. Sometimes we just want people to listen.
Exactly. Sometimes, you know, for us ladies, most of the time we want somebody to just
just listen.
Just kind of like
I'll be talking.
Like, oh, Nini.
And then when I leave there, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And sometimes that really helps. It does help a lot. So for men, you see for men they don't have that.
Yeah.
Men are usually logical. Usually emotional.
Yeah.
So them they analyze.
Yeah, they
analyze
they
fast.
play the scenario like in so many times, like they play it until by the time they're done with the scenario, they're like, man, I can't handle this.
Yes,
like, I can't tell this to nobody.
Exactly. So that's why we always say, like, you know, for now, what we have seen in the country most of the time is basically, you know, men killing their partners, women killing their partners, their children, and you're like, these things, why would you not find a safe space for you to talk? Why would you feel that you're alone? You're not alone in this world. You have people, or if you don't have, like, if you feel you don't have people, there are helplines, there are counselors, there are psychologists out here, like just to reach out, you know, speak about your issues. And also I always say that, you know, sometimes we tend to speak our issues on social media. And that is not a good place to speak about your issues on social media, because people are very narcissistic. People are there,
and they'll use your words against you.
Exactly. And they are not encouraging you to move. You know, they're like, you want to kill yourself?
Kill yourself. Like on social media, people. Some people are so blunt.
Exactly.
Like you'll be airing your issues. They're like, okay, I feel suicidal and all that stuff. You're like, come on, man. Like we all do feel so bad. Like what the hell? You know, like nobody. Like very few people like empathize with you when you're suffering. Like very few people are genuine even in their empathy. You know, some will just pretend.
And that's the whole point whereby we always say that, you know, that's why somebody will feel like if I vent out, you know, if I vent out my issues, who will hear me?
Yeah.
You know, you're like, if I tell
feeling
Tabby,
alone.
Yeah, you're like, if I tell Tabby my issues, will she actually listen to my issues and help me solve them? Or will she be the one laughing at me? You know, and you're like, I'd rather just stay with my issues. And that's why I always say, like, we're feeling like we have normalized people suffering, because we don't, right now, people don't have time for your issues. People don't have time to listen to you.
It's Tracy. People are running up and down. People are looking for money. Like, it's very, very, and that's why you can't find someone even suffering with depression, Tracy. And she or he is just in the middle of a group of friends and all that, and nobody notices. Because when you come together, it's always hype, it's always fun. Like nobody even asks, like, hey Tracy,
are you okay?
Are you okay? Like, in fact, most of the time, nobody notices.
Nobody notices because they're like, hey, you know, it's all life of the party. And
then expectations also, Tracy.
Wow.
Like you were expected to be fine. Tracy, you're expected to be fun all the time. Like why are you down?
All the time. Like, what's wrong?
Like,
why are you down now? Come on.
Like, come on. Like, bruh, I'm feeling bad right now.
I'm like, you feeling bad? I know, Tabby.
And you see, the funny thing,
you're not allowed to feel bad.
And you're not allowed to feel bad. And you see, if you tell, like, let's say, for example, you're a group of friends and tell your friends, like, maybe the first time you're like, okay, come, let's go somewhere, and you're like, okay, I'm not feeling well today. The next time I'm not feeling, they'll just move on, like, you don't exist.
You don't exist. People don't have time to, no, these days, she's bad energy.
She's bad energy. Like,
she's giving negative. You're like negative vibes.
And I'm depressed. Like, come on. And that's how, Tracy, and that's how people end up, you know, really feeling suicidal and all that stuff.
Yes,
because there's nothing much. There's nothing much. You know, like, even in friendships. Okay, for me, I've always prayed God to give me, like, you know, the friends that you feel like, Yani, a true friend. I don't want to have a friend in my life, and then at the end of the day, I can't even, like, it's shallow. You know, mostly this friendship that we have currently, that just, you find that the genuineness is missing.
Yeah.
And in the same way now, you know, you can't open up to people.
Yes.
People. Like, it was and then your friend dies, and then the next minute you're like, okay, you see people posting, gone to, again, I don't know what, RIP, whatever. Yeah. This person was close to you and you never did nothing.
You never even knew.
You never even knew, and they were your friend.
You never even knew.
How come this person did not even find a safe space on you, like, to vent or even talk? How? You know? Yeah.
Let's encourage people to be true friends. Let's encourage people to have true love.
True love, genuineness.
Be genuine.
It's lacking in many people.
Yeah, because if you are my friend, Tabe, I have to have that, like, I trust you.
Yeah.
I know you are loyal.
Yeah.
And I know that if I tell you things, you're able to help me, or you're able just to listen.
It's true.
Exactly. But nowadays, people are busy.
People are busy
out here. They don't have time. They don't have time for your negative energy. They don't have time for your bad vibes.
Positive vibes only.
Positive vibes always. Positive vibes.
Positive vibes only.
Positive vibes. but life is a roller coaster.
Yeah,
it's
it's never like the positive vibes only. Like there's so much into life. So really, the shallowness, man, that thing kills me, and that's why many people really have normalized suffering in silence. Tracy.
Yeah, I agree. I think as we are closing, Tabi has said that if you don't find a safe place with your family, with your friend, find a safe place. There are so many helplines right now, and also so many counselors and psychologists and psychiatrists that are ready to hear you and are ready to assess you and tell you, this is what you're going through, but I am here to listen. I am here to guide you through. I am here to hear you. Sometimes you just need somebody to hear you with your issues. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have learned something, kindly share that in the comment section. Subscribe to our channel, like this episode, and also share with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. Share it worldwide. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.